Go to boot.dev and use code KINDAFUNNY to get 25% off your first year on the annual plan. If you want to get our shows ad-free and our exclusive shows, go to patreon.com/kindafunny.
Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, Ubisoft pulls the plug on the Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake and 5 other games. Ashley Birch isn't Chloe in the new Life is Strange, and Barrett's Donkey Kong dreams are coming true. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside, I wrote it all out here, writer, editor, video host, Matt Kim. Hello, Matt.
Hi, hello. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming through, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. This is a long time coming. You actually invited me a couple years ago, and then you tracked me down at a show, and you're like, why have you not responded to any of my emails about coming on the show? And I was like, what emails? And then I went home, and they were all in the spam folder.
That's a true story, everybody. That's a true story. Matt Kim, of course, the reason I tracked you down, the reason I sent all those emails is because I love your work. Matt Kim is an incredibly talented reporter, if you didn't know for some reason. Of course, most people probably know your byline from IGN, but he worked there for 6+ years.
Yeah, long time.
Then they booted you out in August.
It's all right. Happens.
Yeah, it does happen. That's we're doing a whole games cast about being laid off in the games industry, the game media thing. But you are back on the scene here.
Yes.
You got laid off and you said, you know what? I'm going to chill out.
Yes.
I'm going to reflect.
Yeah.
I'm going to move.
I'm going to move, yeah, which is very chill and very reflective if you've moved.
I've moved once or twice. Yeah.
It's awesome. No one gets upset when
There's no stress.
There's no stress. It's super cool, and you don't feel like you want to die every day.
So Matt, what's up right now for people who are gonna? I'm sure I'll come and watch us on the Gamescast and hear about where you're at and what's going on. But for right now, we're pushing people to mattkimwrites.com.
Yes. Well, that's not really a website. It's like I know a lot of other writers in my position have like Substacks and like newsletters and things like that. MattKimWrites.com is not any of this. It's actually just a portfolio website.
Love it.
So if you are just curious about what I've done for the last 6 years, like this is a good. Hey, there it is. Yeah, it's a good place to go and just check out some of my favorite articles that I've ever written. But other than that, but again, it's not like don't go there for updates or for breaking news or anything like that. It's
Follow you on the socials for that.
Exactly, right? Like I'm primarily on social media, and I'm primarily just sort of looking around, and I'm doing a little freelance work here and there. But other than that, it's I'm laying low.
Okay,
and it's nice.
Okay, are you going to come back? Are you going to get in?
Back.
Okay,
this is me coming back.
Okay, cool. I didn't know. Maybe this is a retirement tour. I'm never sure what's happening.
Start of the comeback tour.
Oh damn. Okay. And then what I like to do for people who are coming in and maybe the audience doesn't know them, favorite game of all time?
Bloodborne.
Oh, you're one of these sickos. Okay.
I know. So I started with Demon's Souls, and if you asked me then, Demon's Souls would have been my favorite game of all time.
Sure.
And then I played Dark Souls, and then Dark Souls would have been my favorite game of all time. And then I played Bloodborne, and it sort of held the #1 spot. Although I did just finish Sekiro like a year ago, fully for the first time.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Sekiro is like definitely top 3. Like I think Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro for the FromSoft games. Like I have other favorite games.
And then what about last year, Game of the Year?
Last year's Game of the Year.
Is it you're gonna be boring and just say Expedition, or you got something fun?
I didn't play Expedition.
Man, that's what I'm talking
I
about.
have to
You know what I
finish
mean?
it. I gotta play. Hold on. I do have an answer. What was my? Oh, Death Stranding 2.
Oh,
loved
all
it.
right. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. I like that one a lot. All right.
Loved it. So good.
Well, Matt, we have no time to waste because, of course, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. We run you through the nerdy video game news you know about each and every weekday, and it's a banger episode. Remember, if you're watching right now, we need you to be super chatting, youtube.com/kindafunnygames to be part of the show with your super chats, telling us what you think about all these Ubisoft games getting canceled, the fact you'll never play Prince of Persia Remake, and all of the other news stories we have coming your way. And, of course, reminder, we couldn't do this without our Patreon producers over on patreon.com/kindafunny. So thank you, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney, the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news! 8 items on the Roper Report.
Baker's Dozen!
We start with a gigantic report from VGC's Chris Scullion. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake canceled. Ubisoft has announced that it has canceled 6 games currently in development, including its remake of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, and delayed 7 others. As part of a larger announcement that is conducting a quote-unquote major organizational, operational, and portfolio reset, the company also stated that it had, quote, conducted a thorough review of its content pipeline over the past 2 months. The review led to the decision to, quote, refocus its portfolio, reallocate resources, and comprehensively revise its roadmap over the next 3 years, end quote. Ubisoft said its focus will be on a return to exceptional levels of quality on the open world adventure segment, and to change the group's position in the games as a service native experiences segment. As a result of this, Ubisoft says it has discontinued 6 games that it felt, quote, do not meet the new enhanced quality as well as more selective portfolio prioritization criteria. This means The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake has been canceled, as well as 4 unannounced titles, including 3 new IPs and a mobile title. The identity of the 6th game has not been clarified. Ubisoft also announced it was delaying 7 other games to, quote, ensure enhanced quality benchmarks are fully met. This includes the unannounced title initially planned for FY, that's fiscal year, Matt, 26, ending March 2026, and has been delayed to fiscal year 27. It has been believed for some time that the unannounced title in question is the long-reported but not yet confirmed remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, especially given that a listing for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced appeared on Peggy's website last month. In a statement posted on the official Prince of Persia account on X, the game's development team explained the decision to cancel it. Quote, to the Prince of Persia community, we want to share with you directly. We've made the difficult decision to stop development of Prince of Persia The Sands of Time remake. We know this is deeply disappointing. The game carries enormous meaning for our fans and for the teams who worked on it. While the project had real potential, we weren't able to reach the level of quality you deserve and continuing work would have required more time and investment than we could reasonably commit. And we didn't want to release something that fell short of what the Sands of Time represents. Prince of Persia, as a universe and a legacy, continues to matter deeply to us, and this decision does not mean we're stepping away from the franchise. Thank you for your passion, patience, and love for Prince of Persia. Matt, the story continues to go. I have a giant section highlighted in red because this is where the chief financial officer, Frederick Duguet, I would say, comes in and starts using all the business speak. Just the business speak and backflips to get through all of this information. I left it in red. If you need the business speak, Matt, you let me know. It's there for you.
I'm good.
Okay, great.
Good.
Then let me just give you these couple paragraphs for context in case you haven't been following the Prince of Persia remake because it's batshit crazy. Yeah. When it was announced in September 2020, the Prince of Persia The Sands of Time remake had been in development for 2.5 years at Indian studios Ubisoft Pune, right? Yeah. And Ubisoft Mumbai, and was planned for release in January 2021. Remember, this was going to come out in January 2021 when it was announced. Following a negative reaction to the game's reveal trailer, however, it was delayed several times, and in 2023 it was announced that Ubisoft Montreal, which made 2003's original Sands of Time, had taken over the development duties. The remake was then given a 2026 release window, with Ubisoft stating in 2024 that its Toronto studio, Far Cry 5, Watch Dogs Legion, had come aboard to collaborate with Ubisoft Montreal on the project. Last year, it clarified that it was set to release by the end of the current financial year, meaning before today's announcement, players were expecting this to release sometime before March 2026.
Yeah.
And as soon as last week, right, the rumor was it was going to be out like on Friday.
Yeah.
Roger was expecting it on Friday.
Yeah, surprise drop after one of the showcases, and just right there, the long wait's over. But now the long wait will never end.
It's a never-ending wait. Where do you want to come at it, Matt Kim?
Well, I mean, it's hard to see this news as anything but the sort of continued, I guess, like, kicks to the shins that Ubisoft has been kind of taking for the past couple of years, and it feels it's a lot, right? Because beyond just Prince of Persia, it's like 5 other games were canceled that we don't know about, plus a bunch of delays for other games that they haven't announced. Like it's bad news bears, right?
Yep, 100%.
And like I forgot about everything you said about the when it was initially announced. Plus, I completely forgot there was even a trailer and that there was a negative. Like, all of this is just like, it's been.
Can we see that original trailer, Barrett? I think you ran the candle one at one. I was reading, I know. But if we can get back to the original trailer from September 2020, when they said you're going to play in January, and didn't they delay? If memory serves, didn't they it was like in January 2020, or I'm sorry, 2021 when they delayed it. It was like we were close. We were very, very close to that game coming out, if memory serves. Before
I vaguely remember this, and and it's just like the journey this game went through, and it's bad, and it feels really sort of like, I don't know. You worry on the one hand, you immediately feel bad about this project that people were really excited for. And then on the whole, you kind of worry really about Ubisoft and their future and the long-term thing about that. But it's hard to conceptualize exactly what to think about in that just this early on, just because this news broke this morning.
Oh, of course. Over in the super chats, Foxy Steve super chats and says, "Happy Hump Day." So Ubisoft, ... It still seems like they're trimming down for a sale. Who could possibly pick up the best entity? Who would possibly be the best entity to pick them up? That's what I look at here as well. When we're talking about Ubisoft and we're talking about them floundering, hey, we're spinning off our IPs over here, we're putting them in their own group, we're doing this here and there. You really get down to what the fuck is happening, and clearly they have to be building it up to sell it, I would assume still, and that's why you're like, we're going to cancel all these games that are just red on the books.
Right.
We're going to get really, really, really lean, so you are just buying Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell IP. I worry as a fan about what the fuck the Division 3 is and if we'll ever see that.
Yeah.
Because that also strikes me as one you go, I don't know if we're going to keep that around if we go there.
I mean, you said really earlier, and I have to find it, but there was that one businessy quote, and to step change the group's position in the games as service native experiences segment, right? Like it sounds like they are doubling down on games as service,
which speaks well to a degree to the Division, but then also speaks to, if you're trying to suck every last fucking dollar out of the games as service genre, that doesn't sound like a Division I want to play. That doesn't sound like one I want to play.
And again, we can't like speculate about the other games, but like given that this one was a single player, self-enclosed sort of experience, you kind of have to wonder if the other games were in line with that. They were all maybe single player, sort of like limited experiences, and they're like, no, this won't generate the continuous revenue that we are seeking. So goodbye.
I wonder, and worry isn't the right one. I'm trying to get the actual article up from back in last year, right? Yeah, here it is. I got it. Of course, we are looking at gamesindustry.biz, published November 21st, 2025. Ubisoft's Tencent deal goes through. The French publisher confirms a $1 billion investment in Vantage. When you start looking at Tencent, I wonder, is that the idea too? Does Tencent buy up the rest of Ubisoft to take over a controlling share? They didn't want all of this stuff, so they go this. Oh, and then I have a super chat about that already that just went through. I could have waited. If I knew you were coming. I didn't know you were coming. If I knew you were coming, I would have baked a cake. David in super chat says, the Tencent co-venture with Ubisoft effectively controls Ubi at this point. The reason they do this is to avoid possible regulatory scrutiny with a full-on merger may bring. This is happening all over now. Interesting. Now we're into the business parts of it that I don't understand as well.
I mean, I guess that's my question too, because I was in my laying low time when the news broke, so I was actually like not paying attention.
Got it. So do you know about this?
I'm vaguely aware, but my understanding is that Tencent and Ubisoft are cooperating on this new venture that houses all of like Ubisoft's like big properties.
Let me give you a couple paragraphs on it. This is from, of course, the features editor at GamesIndustry.biz, Lewis Packwood. Ubisoft has announced the completion of Tencent's 1.16 billion euro investment in Vantage Studios, the division in charge of Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six franchises. Vantage Studios became operational October 1st and includes Ubisoft's offices in Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Senaway, Barcelona, Sofia, encompassing a total of 2,300 employees. Following the completion of the deal, Tencent now holds a 26.32% stake in Vantage Studios, which remains controlled by Ubisoft. And so then what David is talking about is on a higher level of business.
Right.
That this is happening, but in reality, it is Tencent pulling the strings.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Like, is there and I don't know this because I don't have an MBA, right? But is there a future where this is now the new Assassin's Creed Far Cry stuff, right? And then they sell Ubisoft.
I think 100%.
Well, I guess Tom Clancy, but even then, like,
Rainbow Six is over here, and I think that's what it is, right?
All of that. So I guess most of them.
I think 100% that's what happens is that they get to quietly shutter all that and or sell it,
right?
And then sell off those IPs, and then this thing, Vantage Studios, gets to stand on its own,
right,
and carry the torch for whatever these things are. When we were coming in here, what we were getting into is the 6 canceled games, and then the delay of the 7 other ones.
Right.
What else do you think's canceled? What else do you think's getting delayed? Where's Beyond Good and Evil 3?
Beyond Good and Evil 3 is for sure one of the canceled game. Like, I don't know. I have no insider information. It is for sure 100% canceled. No, it's yeah, I have to imagine because when was the last time we saw that? Like 2019, 2018? I don't even remember.
God, yeah, you're right. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I think E3 was still around when the last time I heard about Beyond Good and
I was gonna
Evil.
say, right? Yeah. I think that was the big one.
And then as for delays, right? Like I guess Assassin's Creed Black Flag is the big one that there is reportedly being delayed, and I feel like that one is a pretty sure bet. And then I have to imagine,
Which again is crazy.
Yeah.
When we were talking about all the when these games felt imminent.
Yeah.
It was the rumors of because what Tom Henderson was saying that we were getting Prince of Persia maybe last week or whatever.
Yeah.
Then it felt like Black Flag was all over the place, and it got rated by Peggy. So we're like, oh, here it comes.
I was looking forward to it. I was really hoping to play it next month. And then I don't know. And there's like what 2 or 3 other Assassin's Creed games in development. So I feel like maybe those are probably
Splinter Cell remake. We're being reminded of that shit's dead. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah, that's one of the canceled games for sure, right?
Yeah.
My favorite BS of the day, that's a blue sky, Tim, comes from Jeff Gersman, who said, if the company that shipped Skull and Bones is telling you that they canceled the game for quality reasons, it's easy to assume that game must have been pretty fucking bad.
I imagine and this first reply here also mentions this. I imagine if they had actual control in whether they could ship Skull and Bones or not, they would have canceled that game. Because of the Singapore.
Lest we forget that, the Singapore government funded it, and they were like, this game's coming out.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, this game is coming out. Yikes. So what do you think then? I never want to throw away the hard work of thousands of people.
Right.
This sucks for Prince of Persia fans for sure, but the litany of studios I just listed that almost had a Prince of Persia game coming out, then were told it didn't look good enough, then had it taken away from them, then other people came in to help. Like, so much brain power and man hours went into trying to make this happen, and it didn't happen, and that sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that for the devs, obviously. What I think is an interesting angle to go with, though, comes from a super chat from Onimus Prime. Dormant franchises like Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell are DOA no matter how good they are. Not enough people today care. Look at The Lost Crown, for example. Here's the one that is a encapsulation of so much stuff I've said throughout the years, but especially recently, I feel like. It's DOA for Ubisoft. For these franchises, when we're looking at this, Vantage Studios over there has Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Great. Cherry pick those. Let this die or sell them off, and then a studio making something like Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, that would be a smaller studio. Honestly, what's probably going to happen? A Saber picks them up, or the IP. Worst case scenario, a fucking Embracer picks it up. I mean, worst, Saudi Arabia picks it up. But like, what I'm saying here is if these IP get back out into the wild and people are able to then go, okay, cool, now we're going to make a Prince of Persia game, a Rayman game, a Rabbids game. We're going to make these games with realistic fucking expectations. We're not going to, like, the reason Ubisoft doesn't make smaller fun games is because Ubisoft needs fucking double-digit profit. They need double-digit returns. They need so much money, and a nice little linear remake of Prince of Persia is not going to generate that.
Right.
But to the right size studio, to the right size team, they go and do that, and suddenly, bam, this did what we wanted. We sold 750,000 copies. We're thrilled with that. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because there was that side-scrolling Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown, Forgotten Crown, something.
No, Lost Crown was the one we just talked about. Well, that was the Metroidvania one.
Yeah, the Metroidvania.
Because then there was the other one that was the artistic style that I can never remember the name of.
Right, and then that one was, I believe, a disappointment for Ubisoft. But again, that's because that was never going to make the money Ubisoft would have wanted for a game like that size. But if another studio made that game, then I'm sure they would have been super happy. One thing I kind of want to think about from this way is I know we're thinking about the return of investment on these games was never going to be enough for Ubisoft, but you think about the chaos just making these, handling these in the way that they did even does. Okay, so I want to think about it like this. They had this external studios in India making these games, right? And they weren't happy with it. And you have to imagine during this time, Ubisoft Montreal was probably working very hard on a new Assassin's Creed game that they were very focused on, right? And I'm not saying that this was not important to them either. I'm sure they worked very hard on Prince of Persia when it became their project. But imagine just one day going up to work and be like, hey, you also work on Prince of Persia now. We're doubling your work, right? Well, we're taking away some teams from the Assassin's Creed you're working on. We're putting them on Prince of Persia. Sorry about that. We fucked it up the project management portion of this, and now it's your guys' problem too, right? And then meanwhile, Toronto is probably working on another thing, right? And then Montreal comes like we can't do this because we're working on AC and also now this, and like, okay, well now we're just gonna take this, move to Toronto, and Toronto now is being like, we were working on our own thing too, and now we have to pay attention to this other thing that's been going through. It's a real failure of management to sort of like that the project ended up the way that it did.
Yeah, 100%. Making games is hard, and there are so many variables, and so many things change. And to try to get moving on a timeline for any of these other games, which again are the games that Ubisoft stockholders are looking at and going, these are the ones that need to make them. We need an Assassin's Creed. Make Assassin's Creed. Don't worry about Prince of Persia. And then you have a Prince of Persia game that's languished now for 6 years. We should have, we should have 5 years ago. We were supposed to play this game, and now it's finally here. It's like, ouch. The one I was looking for was the Rogue Prince of Persia.
Oh, yeah.
Lost Crown, critically well received.
Right.
Didn't sell gangbusters. And then they also, and I'm not insulting the developers, I'm insulting the marketing, shit out the Rogue Prince of Persia, where it's like, it's early access, and now it's out, it's whatever. It's like, okay, what are we doing here? Sphinx Jur says, do we still got Ubisoft stock? No, we sold our Ubisoft stock a long time ago, remember? There was an experiment here where I infamously, I could have helped everybody make a lot of money on GameStop.
Right. Yeah.
Because I said if you bought it right now when it was about to be delisted, and then when the thing happened, you would be like a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
And so then I was like, let's do it again with Ubisoft stock. And it did not go the same way. I publicly invested $100, and it never, ever went back up. It only ever went down. And right now, it's at $1.37. And again, now that they spun off this Vantage bullshit, I don't know what that means for that. We're outside of it. This isn't, it says not real financial advice. As a reminder, we didn't play the song. So this isn't your favorite reoccurring segment. Here
but I just feel like any time you start to bring this up, I feel like almost legally obligated to bring this up.
I hear you, but what you should put is not real financial advice, semicolon, real lamenting of the money he spent. You know what I mean? We fucked this up.
Yeah.
We fucked this up.
The money's real.
The money's real.
Yeah, and
luckily I don't know if Jen ever saw it. You know what I mean? That $100 went into Robinhood or whatever it was, and it never came back anyway. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all there is to say, I guess. Really, it's this. I think what's still crazy to me is after doing, obviously, talking and writing about video games for so long, but more importantly, doing this show for so long, the fact that we're still waiting for the other shoe to drop on Ubisoft. This feel like they would have been out of business or sold forever ago, and we're still having this conversation where it's like, here we are.
I mean, it's because they go through peaks and valleys, and then
they haven't had a peak in a long time.
Yeah, I know, and it's just it does feel like the world's slowest car crash. At some point, you are waiting for the collision point to happen. Which you don't want it to, but every time you read more about Ubisoft's business, about how spread out they are, about how many studios that they manage, about all these different deals that they're making with Tencent and external partners, and it's like every time you see a business story come out of Ubisoft, it's always like never a good thing. It's never like Ubisoft turned out a massive new deal for successfully or something like that. It's always something that sounds catastrophic, or that sounds at the very least just pretty bad.
As a closer one here, we have two. Justin T. Mars super chats on his membership for 32 months. Thank you so much. And says, this sounds like what movie studios do. Cancel projects when it may be better for the books and for the shareholders in the moment, rather than release the product that may be great for the core consumer. And in the similar thought, Thok24 says, they also broke up their studios in 5 subgroups, similar to how Square Enix does theirs, creative houses. It's way easier to sell them need by need, which I think is pretty inevitably going to happen. So we will continue. Oh, and then one here, Ambrosia Jam. Remember when there was a hostile takeover at Ubisoft a few years ago? Shit's wild. That was when we were still at IGN. I was still at IGN when it was fucking Vivendi. And Yves Guillemot was like, we're going to fight this. We're going to stop this. We're like, yeah, go for it. Now look at where we are. Games as a service nonstop.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy, Matt Kim.
It's all right. I mean, again, I think my heart goes out to all of the employees.
Yes, 100%.
Ubisoft. And it's just, and I feel tired from the outside looking in. Imagine just
having to work there every day.
Yeah, just
We go to good news. Story number 2. This is what Barrett's been waiting for. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD update adds Dixie Kong, switch to enhancements, and a new mode. I'm going to read from Marcus Stewart, a Game Informer. But Barrett, let's watch this trailer. I can see the excitement in your face. I know how stoked this guy is right here in his little hat. Look at him. He's excited. He's calmed out. There it is. Can we get audio out here? Or is it...
Audio seems to be broken. I was going to take our ad break to try to fix it.
Oh, sorry. Is there? I haven't actually watched this period, so like, is there anything I need to listen to?
I have no idea.
Oh, you didn't see it either.
Yeah, I haven't watched this.
I thought you were holding it for the first impression here. Do you want to fix your audio during an ad break then?
Sure.
All right. Hey, everybody. Guess what? We couldn't have these awesome cameras. We couldn't have Barrett fixing the audio during ad breaks if we didn't have ads. But if you don't like ads, why not go to patreon.com/kindafunny, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple or Spotify, where you can get the Kinda Funny membership and get each and every episode of every show we do ad-free. Get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a 15 to 20-minute podcast I do daily. And, of course, get good karma for supporting an 11-person, 11-year-old small business. But guess what? Right now, you're not using your benefits. So here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Boot.dev. If you're listening to this show, there's a solid chance that you, 1, like video games, and 2, at some point in your life have been interested in learning software development. Boot.dev combines those things because they know that the smartest way to learn is to never get bored. It takes your coding from beginner to expert the fun way, through a hands-on RPG-like experience. If you're ready to put in the time it takes, like Kevin is.
My favorite feature is that you could find a solution that works, but then afterwards you can hit solution and see the way that they were trying to teach you to do it. That's really cool.
Curriculum designed for builders with gamers' sensibilities in mind, Boot.dev welcomes you to the most captivating way to learn to code. You can learn back-end web development from start to finish in Python, SQL, and Go. Bored learners quit, smart learners never get bored. That's why you'll learn by doing what you'd actually be doing at a job, building real projects. Go to boot.dev and use code KINDAFUNNY to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan. There's no better time to give your coding dreams a chance, just like Kevin's doing. Again, go to boot.dev and use code KINDAFUNNY to get 25% off your entire first year on the annual plan.
From the co-writer of Rogue One comes See You in Hell, a new Hollywood satire, kind of like The Studio, except you'd never get away with this on television, starring Shannon Woodward.
You seriously need to see a shrink or something before you get arrested for dicky waving.
Thomas Sadoski.
I don't have imposter syndrome.
You should.
John Cryer.
You think I don't know bullshit when I hear it? I represent Sean Hannity.
And John Boyega.
I was in Star Wars and Pacific Rim.
The second one.
Whatever.
See You in Hell, wherever you get your podcasts, and at seeyouinhell.tv.
Hey, you! Join us in person for our live in review of Howard the Duck. That's right! Howard the Duck joins MCU in review Wednesday, January 28th at 7:30 p.m. at Cobb's Comedy Club for SF Sketchfest. You can come watch me do all the podcasts within a podcast you love. Andy will be going do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Nick will be shopping for pants during it. But everybody else will be there too for you to come hang out and see. All you have to do is go over to kindafunny.com/sketchfest right now to get your tickets before they sell out. Because coming watching a bunch of people talk about a very old Howard the Duck movie is really selling tickets fast. And we're back. Story number 2, Donkey Kong returns HD update adds Dixie Kong, switch to enhancements, and a new mode. We'll read from Game Informer, but first, our own Fixie Kong, Barrett Courtney, has indeed fixed the audio. Play it, you ape.
Really good.
Let me see. Barrett's got to be on there for the reaction.
A free update is coming to the Donkey Kong Country Returns HD game. Dixie Kong is here to join the adventure.
Barrett's mic's not working, so I'm clapping for
While
him.
jumping, she can give Donkey Kong a boost. Use her ponytail to reach new heights or travel further. You can also split the pair in 2-player local co-op.
Oh, Ben don't like that.
Plus, you can race through fast-paced versions of each level at high speed in Turbo Attack. You'll need to act fast to reach the goal within the time limit. Nintendo Switch 2 players can enjoy enhanced resolution and higher definition graphics. Here's a quick comparison.
I love you, Nintendo. I love you,
Times are
Nintendo.
also faster, so you can get back to the action quicker than before. And Game Share is supported. So if one player has the game, they can share it locally with someone who doesn't have it. The free update for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is available now.
They did it.
Yeah. Donkey Kong's back.
Donkey Kong's back right there, yeah. Barrett, you, of course, are my Donktober expert over here. Fixie Kong himself. I won't lie to you. It wasn't until we got going where I was like, oh, right, he wants 64. I'm sorry. I didn't remember which Donkey Kong you wanted.
I honestly just thinking about Nintendo holistically, not even just focusing on Donkey Kong.
What a great moment where they stopped it and compared the... Let's take a look.
We got this shadow dropped before the... Correct me if I'm wrong, Chat. Has Wonder gotten its Switch 2 version yet?
No, that's not out yet.
Okay. That is perplexing to me. That is so weird. Not Tropical Freeze? Not Tropical Freeze. Again, taking the DK64 bit out of this, we're not going to focus on doing a Switch 2 update for, I would say, the much superior Donkey Kong game, Tropical Freeze. And then also, where the fuck is Donkey Kong 64?
They got to save something for these directs, man, you know?
The one more thing.
One more thing.
Why wasn't this in a direct? What's happening right now?
Got to get this out so they can make the big news. You know what I mean? The big news out there.
It looks good.
It does look really good. No, yeah, I will play 2-player here with Ben. I like that quite a bit. Are you gonna go back?
I don't have this one. I have Tropical Freeze. I'm with Barrett. I want the Tropical Freeze update because it's the one that I have. I played this on guess which system. I've only played that game once on one system.
Wii U.
No.
Damn.
3DS.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay,
I played the 3DS version because I think I was gifted it for a birthday. I got a physical copy of it. And so I played it on 3DS, and that is when I last played it, and it is hard as balls.
Yeah.
And and I stopped playing it.
You said something interesting before we came out here, of course, that you've kind of fallen in love with your Switch 2?
Yes. Yeah. I have, that's what basically, so I have been laying low, taking it easy, which means I'm finally playing games on my own leisure time once again, right?
Not for a deadline,
not for a deadline, not for a work, and it's been really nice. And I find that the gaming platform, because I have a PS5, I have a Switch 2, and I have a really good gaming PC.
Yeah.
The platform that I'm playing games the most on in the last 2-3 months has been my Switch 2.
Hell yeah.
I just really fall in love with the system. It's the indie machine, right? All the upcoming indie games, they're released on the eShop, so I just pick them up there, right? And so that's great to have just around. But then I've been playing. I've literally just been switching between all the Switch games. I play Pokemon Legends ZNA, right? Making my way through there.
What rank are you in right now?
I just beat the karate guy, so I'm
okay.
D or E or something
Gotcha,
like that,
yeah.
I think. And then I have been playing the new Animal Crossing update, which is stellar.
Yeah.
And then after all of those things, after I do the daily Animal Crossing stuff and a little ZA, I do a round of the Mario Kart online tournament mode.
Okay.
And I just kind of call it, and it's just been great. It's just been really nice. Yeah, the Switch 2 is just the better version of the Switch, which is I think the thing that most people say about it, and it's true. And the Switch was already pretty great, and now the Switch 2 is just even better than that. And I've fallen in love with it, and I think it was like a treat to myself. After I got laid off, I picked up a Switch 2, right? And then I'm kind of glad that I did, because I don't know if you've been seeing the RAM prices and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's it almost makes the Roper report the last couple days. The analysts are saying the Switch will be more expensive, but we don't put it in because last week we talked about the president being like, we're not ruling that out, or the president of Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, those tariffs continue to go.
I feel like I really, I don't. Anyways, either way, it's like I said, I've not been playing my PS5. I've not even really been playing on my PC. I've just been playing on the Switch 2. And it is, it's the right console for the right time.
Yeah. I love my Switch 2. When we did our, the 6-month review right before it, I think I gave it a 9, that I'm having an amazing time with it. And I think, through the fall/review season there in the winter, it was very much me glued to the ROG Ally, because so many games came as PC codes and I was doing that thing and yada, yada, yada. But then once we got to December, it was the Switch flip of, all right, okay, now I got to get Metroid out of the way. Now I got to get back to Donkey Kong. Now I'm getting ready for Animal Crossing. Now I'm doing this. And even right now, my wife can't stand the ROG Ally because it clickety clacks so loudly.
Yeah.
So I've reawakened this Witcher desire to play, and of course because CD Projekt Red's awesome, you got cross progression. So I'll play on my giant, amazing TV with my PlayStation, and then when it's time to go play in bed or play on the exercise bike, I throw the Switch save up, and I play it on Switch too.
I'm gonna nerd out here a little bit in this weird little thing, but I get it about like the clickiness of the ROG Ally, and like my girlfriend has a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah.
There's something really pleasant about the softness of the Switch 2's plastic and, and its buttons and its and the joysticks. Velvety, compared to sort of like the harsh plastics of the other handheld consoles, which is like a weird thing to notice, but you do notice it.
We talk about all this all the time in the premium feel, and even when we got the Switch 2 originally, that was some of our our critique versus Switch 1 of like, oh, this feels, don't take it in a perverted way, you perverts, like an adult Switch. Like this is sexy, this feels good. I like the form factor, I like how the textures of it.
Yeah, I mean, and the magnets. The magnets.
Yeah,
great.
Magnets. I always forget about it. I never pop my Joy-Cons off.
I do it because I want to always try to do the little mouse controls at least once for every. Like I did it with the Animal Crossing thing, and I'm like, well, I'm never doing this again. But I'm glad.
Yeah, we did the stream for it. And we were like, me and Joey were like, should we even try? We're like, no, fuck it, we didn't even do it because we didn't need to. But Animal Crossing's dope, and I'm glad you're back. How's your hotel?
Well, okay, so I sold my Switch, and then
see this BS. That's
and then I bought a Switch 2 without having both of them at the same time, which means I'm starting all over. I just got a house. I just started playing. Just got the stock market open. I am back on square one, baby.
Yeah, no, I saw that and it broke my heart. And that was one of the things I talked about, where it's like I saw multiple people in the same boat as you, and I was like, for me, that is always like, I have that conversation in my head of being held up at gunpoint and having the Switch, you Switch 1 or 2 in my bag and be like, listen, you can take anything and I'll walk you into the Nintendo store and buy you a Switch. But you have to understand, my Animal Crossing, my Pokemon save do not drink. I can't get those unless you give them to me right now. We can't do this. Don't hold me up. I will fight back. I will take off my shoes. Number 3 on the Roper Report. Life is Strange Reunion won't bring back the original Chloe voice actor. This is Eddie over at GameSpot. The newly announced Life is Strange Reunion will not feature Ashley Birch as the voice of Chloe. Birch voiced Chloe, one of the franchise's main characters, in the first game in 2015. She did not come back for most of Life is Strange Before the Storm due to a video game voice actor strike. Rihanna DeVries voiced Chloe in that game and will voice her again in Reunion. Birch did, however, return to voice Chloe for Before the Storm's bonus episode, Farewell. Hannah Tell, who voices Life is Strange other main character Max, will return for Reunion. She also played Max in the Farewell episode of Before the Storm, along with Life is Strange Double Exposure. Of course, then we go into what this is all about, but we talked about this yesterday. And again, we called it yesterday. We all sat here and listened. We got the ears. We knew it wasn't Ashley, and then it was people saying it was going to be Rihanna, but we weren't 100% sure. I wanted to set the record straight.
Right.
Do you care at all about Life is Strange?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first one. Yeah. And then
the classic. Yeah, I cared about that first game a decade ago.
Well, oh my God, it was a decade ago. It's one of those games that they release pretty regularly.
Yeah, they put a lot of fun.
No, I played the first one and I really enjoyed it. And then I think it's one of those things where I just happen to own like most of the series on Steam, and I just haven't really gone through all of them. But I have nothing against it. It's a pleasant series. Good music, good acting. You can tell the team really likes working on the games, and I should play them. I hear good things about the second one in particular.
Oh, Life is Strange 2 is real good. Yeah. I have played them all. I love them all for various levels or whatever. Double Exposure fumbled its ending, and then we were very much, don't force Chloe back into this. And then we watched this trailer yesterday, and I was like, I'm going to fucking play this. But it's like, I'll probably end up loving it, but it's probably because they'll undo what I said about Double Exposure. If you want Double Exposure talk, we talked about it yesterday. I'm not doing it now. All right? Number 4. Speaking of recasts, Greg Way, Kratos voice actor reacts to casting of someone else for the TV show. This, again, is Eddie at GameSpot. Prime Video recently announced that Sons of Anarchy actor Ryan Hurst will play Kratos in the upcoming live-action TV series. Christopher Judge, who portrayed Kratos in... I can't say Kratos today? What's wrong with me? In 2018's God of War and 2022's God of War Ragnarok, has now reacted to the casting, saying Hurst is a quote-unquote magnificent choice. Quote, all I wanted for whoever was cast as Kratos was that they love, cherish, and respect Kratos as much as we all do, Judge said at a fan expo in New Orleans. And with Ryan Hurst, they have done that. It's a magnificent choice. Not only a great actor, but a great person, and a gamer who actually played God of War since its inception. So kudos, you've got a great live-action Kratos, end quote. Judge was not the first actor to play Kratos, as T.C. Carson portrayed Kratos in the earlier games. You might remember his performance. Calliope! Zeus, your son has returned! Hurst has a close familiarity with the God of War series, as he portrayed Thor in Ragnarok. And as mentioned by Judge, Hurst has played the games, writing in his own post, quote, used to play as him, now I get to be him, end quote. God of War TV source, blah, 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 and we go on to talk more and more about it. What are your hopes for God of War TV?
That it is as good as the games.
No, just a small bar.
Yeah, whatever. I'm excited. I think, and like it's weird, right? You can't really compare them because the only thing they really share is a streaming home. But like Fallout is so good on Prime, and they're making this at Prime, so you're just like, well,
you hope that DNA carries over.
Right.
You hope that they understand. The first 2 episodes, I cut it off, are directed by apparently the guy who did The Boys. So it's like, or one of the directors of The Boys. So it's like, I feel like we're at that time where people understand that if you do a video game adaptation right, you're going to have something fucking cool.
Yeah.
And even PlayStation having PlayStation Studios and all the Hollywood stuff, like granted, hit or miss on some of the things, but it's like they understand what they're doing with their IP. Yep. This seems like a great choice. I just worry always about a budget. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I think you look at Fallout, which we loved,
right,
season 1, but like, there weren't death claws in season 1, which I think was a great idea because I don't think they had the money to make it look right. And now that it's a mega success, here's a bunch of death claws they put in season 2.
Right.
Spoilers that there's death claws in season 2, whatever. You hope it pays off. You hope it works out. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think I never go into any of these adaptations with like cynicism. Like I think I was, I was very excited. I think I was excited for the Assassin's Creed, taking it back to Ubisoft. I was excited for the Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender. But that was also not good. But I don't know. I come in with an open mind and an open heart, and I never really think, I never go into anything being like, oh, it's gonna be bad, they're gonna mess this up or anything like that. Like even if they announce that the showrunners are like, oh, we've never actually played the games, right, or anything like that, I don't take that necessarily as a bad thing. I think anybody who is creatively minded can like take their own interpretation to things. And so I think, but it sounds like everybody who's working on the God of War show in particular is very much a fan of the games, has been in them, played them, so that's, I can only be a good thing.
Let's go. Speaking of going, another Greg way. Number 5, Crimson Desert goes gold. This is from a Twitter post they had. We're thrilled to announce that hashtag Crimson Desert has gone gold. On behalf of the team at Pearl Abyss, thank you to our fans around the world for your support and for reaching this milestone with us. Stay tuned for more news, and we'll see you in Pywell. Probably not pronounced that well. On March 19th. Holy shit, Matt, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Holy shit. This is one of those games I definitely was like, I said I could see it being delayed.
Because
it's big, it's ambitious.
It is big, it is ambitious. I never really was worried for this game because we were talking before the show that I have played this
me too.
on occasions and demo, and like every time I play a demo, I'm like, this is a really like fully finished demo.
Yeah.
And so like I know that they're making, but it's true. It does feel like this is kind of an oddity because it was announced in a really beautiful like pre-rendered trailer,
and it was that game that kept doing everything. You're gliding, you're fighting,
exactly,
you're doing this. We're like, what the hell? How can it be everything?
Yeah, and you're always suspicious of pre-rendered trailers. You're like, well, this is just a proof of concept. This is just what they want to do in the final game.
Yeah.
And then just quietly, without anyone really noticing, they're just like, oh yeah, we have an update. We're making progress on this game, and then people like us in the media get invited to play it out, and then we're like, oh, this is like actually like a real game and coming along, and then now they're just like, and now we're done. And that's just, I don't know. It just doesn't, doesn't really happen a lot in games anymore,
Yeah. How much like time wise have you played? Because I played at SGF, which of course is the worst place to play this kind of game. Hey, you got 30 to an hour. I forget what it was. Yeah, I'm running around. I got Paris trying to talk to me. Get the fuck away from me. And I sit down to do it, and it's like, here's this one section, and there's like a million buttons, and it was very complicated. And then, like I've said before, when they gave me the one-on-one boss fight where I'm picking up pillars and slamming them in, that's where I started to really get my legs, and then it was over. And I was like, damn, the ending made me more confident than the beginning ever did.
Yeah, it was. I played like an hour and a half. I played like I played like 3 sections. I played like an opening intro to get your like feel, and that's just you beating up a bunch of like regular bad guys.
Yeah.
And then a couple boss fights, and the boss fights were definitely the showstoppers, where I'm like, oh, they're going for like kind of like a Monster Hunter kind of thing with these big bosses. and I want to do this because it always drives me nuts. A lot of people are like, "Is it a Souls game? Is it a Souls game?" I don't think it's a Souls game.
Okay, good.
I think there's like a stamina thing, but I think it's like closer to like a Witcher. Like,
I was gonna say, it feels way more action RPG and not like a RPG, but action RPG with action. You know what I mean? Where it's like, that's what I'm getting, which that's the fucking game I love.
Yeah.
So it's like, even looking at it and seeing like they got an orc and they got this and they got the class and the different like. I'm very excited to get my hands on it and get deep into it.
I think you're right. I'm very curious what is in the final game. Because again, when that original trailer, they showed a lot of things, gliding, different monsters. We just saw dragons. So we'll see what's in the final game. But it looks good, and everything that I've seen so far of it and played fills me with confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to story number 6. Marathon might be part of a dying breed of game, according to a former art director. This is Lan Pitts over at GameSpot. Bungie's upcoming anticipated extraction shooter Marathon is scheduled to arrive in early March and is, as of this writing, one of the highest-selling games ever on Steam. Even with the alleged stolen art controversy, it's looking like Marathon could be a winner that Bungie needs it to be after Concord failed to take off. According to former art director Joseph Cross, that level of commitment to an unproven IP might be a thing of the past soon. And I would even argue, think of the past now. But don't. Yeah, in an interview with reader Grev, Cross feels like the state of funding for games has reached a point where studios shouldn't blindly fund games based on spec, and compares Concord to Marathon on the same sort of production scale. Quote, Marathon is such a massive project. The studio took such a risk on this. Oftentimes we feel like we were sort of getting away with something. I think about that in the big picture. The idea of studios funding unproven, unknown projects for 6 or 8 years for hundreds of millions of dollars, sort of on spec. How much longer are things like this going to exist? I've been part of a couple of them now, end quote. He added that the budget is something that he thought about a lot, and how easy it is to lose sight of things when you're being bankrolled by someone else. Quote, it's not always intuitive to remember that above all else, this is the product that's being funded. And every day that goes by is a day you're going further into the red. You're not making money. The studio is not making any money. So anyway, that's a big one, especially when you're really trying to channel creativity and get to the point where you feel like you can't impose anything that feels like a risk. I mean, what a mind fuck that is, right? That's a really good interview. That's where you sort of put on the armor of art and have faith in your perspective and experience as an artist. All great art, commercial art anyways, it's doubted. And that's a level of skepticism. And there's a level of skepticism until there's not, end quote. Marathon is set to release March 5th for PC, PS5, Xbox, and will be priced at $40, the same price point as Arc Raiders. What do you think, Matt?
Well, I was really excited for this game when they first showed it off, and then then they went through their own controversy stuff, and that was rough. But I'm glad it sounds like they sorted it out with the original artist that they deal with, and then now that it's coming out, I'm looking forward to it. I really like Bungie. I was a huge Halo guy growing up. Like the 360 was my jam. Halo Reach, one of the best games of all time in my opinion. I love ODST, and I really like Destiny 1. And I tried really hard to get into Destiny 2, but Destiny 2 was a real time commitment, and I did not have that time. But I'm really excited. I hope for the best for Bungie, and definitely I want, and that was a really good interview.
Some really candid quotes.
Yeah,
it's funny when you leave a place how candid you can be.
Yeah, they're right? Like there's, with these kinds of games, you want to make the best game possible, but the business expectation is that you also make it in a way where people spend money on it and recoup the astounding budget that it sounds like it took. And so all power to them. And
the intro here from Lan talking about that level of commitment to an unproven IP might be a thing of the past. Again, I think it already is. This is what we talk about, where if it's not a sequel or if it's not a known IP, you're not seeing that kind of money put into it. And then in the same breath, why people are always so over early access, it's that idea of early access gets money coming in quicker rather than waiting another 4 or 5 years to get out the final product to go. And that's good, bad, and otherwise. But for games of this scale, for what they're trying to do, it is a different ballgame than, especially for talking about Bungie and their games and how long they've gestated and what it was.
And this does kind of feel like a trick, right? Because they can go into like a meeting for money and they can be like, this is a proven IP. that hasn't existed in like 30 years.
Yeah.
Like this is a real trusted IP that people for sure remember.
Everyone remembers Marathon, right?
So I get, and the part where he's like, it feels like we were getting away with something. They kind of did, you know. They were like, this is an IP like all other IPs. So
what is your prediction? Is Marathon going to find an audience? That's been the big discussion.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about it being one of the most sold games on Steam already for going on pre-order, so that's a good indication for them already. But you know, these things they drop off so fast, so it's really hard to
exactly. How are you going to stick that audience? Right?
I think, well, Arc Raiders is doing really well, and I think that the genre does seem popular. So I guess if Bungie can put their own spin on it with their level of quality, then yeah, I think it can be in that space. Sure.
From one day ago, Darren over on GameSpot had this article about the sales that I had missed as well. Following the reveal of its release date, Marathon has seen a huge surge in interest as PC players have begun locking in pre-orders for Bungie's sci-fi extraction shooter. At the time of this writing, Marathon is the 5th best-selling game on Steam in the US and 10th globally on the Steam charts. Free-to-play games like Marvel Rivals and Counter-Strike 2 are ahead of it, only natural given the low price of nothing for those titles, and Arc Raiders is still in the top spot for now. So it's cool to see people coming in and saying they believe in it and what they've seen. But we will wait and see. Now it's talking about not believing in a new IP. Number 7, apparent Project Blackbird footage shows the ZeniMax Online MMO that could have been. This is Cameron Koch over at GameSpot. What is allegedly footage of ZeniMax Online Studios' canceled sci-fi MMO Project Blackbird is now out in the wild, giving a glimpse at what might have been had Microsoft not scrapped the project. The footage shared by XTAS1STV. He's using Elite Speak, and I can't keep up. On X, and corroborated by Insider Gaming, is internal studio test footage meant to show off the game's lighting using Unreal Engine 4. The 2-minute clip shows a cyberpunk city giving off strong Blade Runner energy, one filled with neon lights and various NPCs. Among them are what looks to be alien species, further highlighting the game's sci-fi setting. According to Insider Gaming's Tom Henderson, the footage is from quote-unquote years ago and nowhere near a representation of what the game that was canceled. However, it does give at least curious fans a better idea of what ZeniMax Online was going for with the project. Project Blackbird was slated to be ZeniMax Online's second MMO. The studio was founded in 2007 and is responsible for the Elder Scrolls Online, which is still going strong over a decade after its original 2014 release. Mass layoffs at Microsoft and Project Blackbird's cancellation in July 2025 led to more than 300 developers at ZeniMax Online losing their jobs and studio president Matt Firor quitting. In a recent LinkedIn post, Firor explained the resignation. This is a typo, but he said Blackbird was, quote, the game I had waited my entire career to create, and having it canceled led to my resignation, end quote. Some of those layoffs from ZeniMax Online, who worked on several projects, now created a new studio, the pointedly named and employee-owned Sackbird Studios. That's awesome. I missed they called it Sackbird. Quote, when I learned Blackbird was being canceled and a lot of people were losing their jobs, it lit a fire, Sackbird CEO Lee Rideau said in a statement on its official website. We realized the best way to protect our craft and our team was to create a studio where independence isn't negotiable, end quote. Despite the layoffs, ZeniMax Online is continuing to forge ahead with the Elder Scrolls Online, which in 2026 is transitioning to a seasons-based content model and will be making some of its older DLC content free. It will also finally be getting crossplay between platforms in the future. As talked about on the Elder Scrolls Online show that we did here with them, and more importantly, Matt, who we of course wish well. This hurt to begin with. Yeah. Number 1, people losing their jobs. We hate that. Number 2, having an actual personal connection to Matt and the team over there and seeing what they were working on. And then now it hurts so much more seeing this. Because if you can put the footage back up, like that is an MMO I would love to go play. Elder Scrolls, not a world I want to exist in. I've played enough Fallout 76, lots of Fallout 76, that I'm like, I'm good. I want my Fallout RPG questy thing. A cool sci-fi MMO Matt or come on, that would be fucking dope as shit. And I don't care if this isn't what it actually looks like years later. Like, this is such a great tone setter. I'm like, oh, I'd love to do this.
I mean, Matt's quote is heartbreaking. You know, the fact that he quit because this game was canceled. He's like, this is what I was building my career up to. This is everything that I was working towards. And when they canceled it, I had no other choice but to leave the studio that I was working at. Like, that's a level of dedication to a project that you don't hear publicly, you know, a lot on these kind of things. Like, cancellations happen, But to tie your resignation directly to this project that you were working on and you really believed in is really heartbreaking.
A heartbreaker, gone. But I'm excited to see what Project Sackbird does.
Yeah.
Dope name.
Really good name.
Dope name. Matt, Project Sackbird's first game is going to be big news. But if I wanted something smaller, say the tiniest news I needed to know about, where would I go?
You'd go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
It's the Wii News, everybody. Story number 8. Fortnite looks to be getting some content from The Office. I'm pulling from the IGN thing that summarizes a tweet. Fans of TV and video games were thrown for a loop earlier today, and that was yesterday, when Epic shared a not-so-cryptic tease on social media. It's the kind of thing that would be completely nonsensical to the uninitiated, but those who are dialed into the NBC comedy will recognize "Build beats Battle Royale" as a reference to one of the most memorable quotes from The Office. One of the most memorable quotes from The Office, we're stretching IGN.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica 100%, Greg.
Really? You think so?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, well, first off,
yes.
I'm not fighting you, Barrett.
I'll fight you, Greg.
Fighting you, Barrett.
I'll fight you.
Go fucking get mad about the 15th Donkey Kong game that came out you don't want to. Don't get on my case about it.
I'll get on your case when you rub it in my face.
Are you going to pick up these skins? Are you going to get a Michael Scott skin?
I have not touched Fortnite in years.
Would this be the thing to bring you back?
No.
What if it was an entire season?
No. Like Simpsons didn't bring me back.
Yeah, but you're a bigger Office fan than you're a Simpsons fan.
I don't know if I ever said that.
I did. For you. I'm writing your autobiography. History is written by the winners, and I'm the winner. So are you, though. Tim Jr. GameSpot reports Far Cry 3 and spin-offs Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon and Far Cry Primal receive 60 frame per second patches for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series today. So if you were looking to celebrate some Ubisoft titles today, this is what you're getting. Occult horror deck builder The Killing Stone launches February 18th on Steam, and the full launch of Enshrouded, that's right, 1.0, is coming autumn 2026.
Cool.
I've heard of Enshrouded. I remember press releases, and then I never heard anything, and then today it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, they put out a roadmap. It's coming in autumn 1.0. It's coming to consoles, too. I'm like, all right.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure it's a great game. I hope so, or I'm sure people are happy. So.
Throw up some Enshrouded, because it's one of those you look at, you're like, and again, different strokes. I'm not yucking your yum, but I look at this, and I'm like, this is one of those games that looks like every other game. It's like when we do Bless Who, and they put up all the different things, and I'm like, I don't know what any of these are. But Andy loved it, apparently, according to Erdy Cooper. An actual Sad Taco says Enshrouded is great.
Oh.
Other people say it's rules.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I look at this and I'm like, I don't understand who you are.
This is not what I had in mind when I was thinking
New
about
bosses and enemies. A lot of streamers use Enshrouded cozy chill farming game. Maybe they should play Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? Be real gamers. And that's it for Wii News. You watch now. That's going to come to consoles and I'll be like, that's the best game of all time. Game of the year. I'm a fucking idiot. Do you like that joke, Bear? Let's get some super chats before we get some You're Wrongs and get to the games cast. Rakan says, quote, game dropping this week was a misunderstanding. They're talking about, we're going to get the Prince of Persia game. Well, they dropped it a certain way, didn't they? Foxy C says, I love that TRD sweater, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
Your outfit. It is very nice. Is it new?
Yeah.
Is it soft? Because it looks soft.
It's just not been worn. Because I was living, it is warm. It is soft. I was living in LA. It's warm and hot over there. I did not get a lot of chances to wear this, so it's just kind of sitting around. But it is cold here back in the Bay, and so now I got to wear this.
Ambrosia Jam follows up with a super chat, says, Matt Kim wears a health shirt. Mega Chad.
How do people know about that? Oh, they must have seen me, I guess, on an IGN show. Yeah, I have a couple health t-shirts that I kind of always wear on podcasts, which I love.
What is health?
It's a band. They're like a...
Oh, okay. No, I think Lucy James or Jen's talked about these people before. Okay. Have you ever heard of Vanessa Carlton?
I've heard of Vanessa Carlton.
I like her a lot.
I don't like health. No.
You're like, no, not at all. Goldfish Boy 1337 says, thank you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks to you guys, I really developed a love for video game news. I'm wanting to start my own quick video game news show. Any tips for how to make it work? Don't want, do. You have to go do it. Remember, for a long time, the shows you make are going to be trash. You got to work it out. You got to figure it out. You got to learn to talk in a microphone. You got to learn how to upload. You got to learn thumbnails. You got to, and that's all stuff you can only learn by doing. So just get going. That's it. You got to go. You got to go. You got to do it. You got any advice? Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Fair enough. Sometimes I crush it, Riley says, Greg, just invest in Take-Two and pray for GTA 6. I'm going to keep investing in hot dogs because that lost me a lot of money. Danger Daddy D says, Greg started Hell Is Us last week and I'm having a blast. Great exploration and the best depiction of war I've ever seen. Thanks for the recommendation. No problem. Everybody pick up Hell Is Us. Did you play Hell Is Us?
Oh, no, but I've heard good things and I want to.
Good.
It looks cool.
Go play it because it's really good. And not a lot of people played it. And that's a studio, you know. We're talking about the big budget. We're talking about the double thing. Like, they're a small studio.
We were just on. I'm Switch 2 pilled right now, but I'm in my Switch 2 era. But after that's over,
That's fair. And then final one here comes from Cozy Bear Live. Missed Wii news. Tensuke Tanabe, the producer of Metroid Prime games and many others, and I'm sorry if I butchered the name, which I probably did, has announced retirement from Nintendo. Oh. Well, happy retirement.
Yeah, congratulations.
Did that break while we were alive? I didn't see that. And then kindoffunny.com/you're wrong to keep us honest as we go. Marathon, which is a great name to say, extra marathon sales info. Not only is it selling as well as it is on Steam, but it's number 2 standard and number 4 deluxe best-selling pre-order on PSN right now. There you go. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Everybody, guess what? You made it through another episode of Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the biggest video game news stories in the world on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, youtube.com/kindafunnygames, and podcast services around the globe. If you love that, pick up a membership. Kinda Funny. You can go there. Oh, fuck that up. Patreon.com/kindafunny. I was going to try to save it. I was like, it's not even worth it. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames, Apple and Spotify to pick up the membership. Get every show ad-free. Get your daily dose of me and Greg Way. And of course, get good karma for supporting an 11-year-old small business. Of course, we are all about live talk shows, which means your day ain't over yet. From here, Matt and I are going to sit basically right here and do a games cast about what it's like right now in the media landscape. After that, Nick and Joey are running a restaurant filled with rats. The thumbnail's great. Then we're recording our Back to the Future commentary, which of course you can only get on patreon.com/kindafunny later, but I digress. For right now, don't touch that dial, and if you're watching later, like, subscribe, share, come and watch the other content on demand. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.